Recording. Where to start? So, I got the, as I showed you in those graphs, I got the KB store running, very nicely in terms of, if this is an example of some load that's gone into it. This is the number of bytes in and out of Deno deploy. This is the database read units consumed, and this is database write units consumed. These were in the millions before for similar loads. So it's very, very efficient. And then I got implemented the very useful side effect that the Git file system is now atomic. So pretty pleased with that. But the issue that I'm having is that now the way I did the atomics was I relied on the fact that when you put an action into the system, you are in effect guaranteeing the atomicity of that action. Like, you start it, and if it fails, well, it's sort of up to you to try it again, because, I'm it's right. I'm like, well, where where does the buck stop, type of thing. But what the downside of that is that if I want to say clone a repo off of GitHub, when you start the action, you are starting it with the isolate that is closest to you in the world, but the database stays in the same place in East Virginia. And now, because we only read the parts of the Git database that we need at the time, it results in many small reads with a very high, the latency gets amplified significantly. So whilst the read count is good and the performance is very good if you're close to the database, I need to move the calculation to the database so it can sort of ping back and forth very quickly, which is sort of how I had it before. But to do that, I had to use an old style of locking, which sort of, wrote a value, checked the value, did some stuff, that old game, right? And so I had to not bring that back, because that's definitely bad. But my work over the last few working days has been to move the repository operations into side effects and make locking be a general side effect type thing. So you can have any kind of side effect, and it uses the same locking mechanism as what we're using to do clones and pushes and pulls to GitHub. And the benefit of that is that it maintains the atomicity of the whole system even during side effecty operations, like interacting with an external website like GitHub. So these side effects can, clean up from the last one, take over when one fails, like those types of things in this design. But yeah, it was just a bit cumbersome to figure all that out. You just give me a second?